shouldn't have been done.
Well,
Because,
then, Judge, if you don't take him into custody, take me. I'm the one that told him.
oh no, he knows he's supposed to be here at 9.
But I'm just, don't talk.
This you have. Don't come to me with a third choice. Two choices, like, you know what? Let me just come before the judge and say, I wasn't able to do it. Instead of coming in, nope, don't give me attitude. All right. Instead, I need you to slow down because the court reporter, you're not going to be allowed to live with your parents. So why were you, as a 38-year-old, living with them in the first place?
Well,
I'm sorry, Officer Guerra, did you ever speak to him about sober support meetings?
no, ma'am.
Did he ever speak to you stating that he was unable to do his sober support meetings?
Not that I can recall, Your Honor, no.
All right, any questions?
Nothing further.
Plea today, and then we're gonna bring you back. Deputy Laura, if you can have him brought back tomorrow.
No, they're here.
Are they here?
Yes, ma'am.
Ah,
We're
okay.
good.
All right, thank you. Yes. All right, court is calling 2024 CR 011671, State of Texas versus Jamal Ricardo Fisher. If I could have parties announced for the record for the state. You're charged with injury to the elderly or disabled with intentional bodily injury. That's a third-degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. What do you wish to say?
Miss Boyd, I can tell, even taking the glasses off, I'm nearsighted. Both of you and I have these little scars right here from our glasses. And I was listening to you earlier. Without my glasses on, I can barely see you. 6 months ago, on August 26th, I reacted to what I felt had been 2 years of a nightmare. I have lived with my parents for 38 years, and they're the best things that have ever happened to me. I couldn't see the forest through the trees because what was happening to me had never happened before in my life. That day, I reacted in a horrible way towards my father because I lost my cool and I lost my power. The last 6 months of my life have been the best 6 months of my life because I've gotten in touch with myself and I've remembered a very important thing, that no matter what I'm going through, and no matter what anyone is going through, how I choose to react to it is completely and totally up to me. And these days, I choose happiness. I cry a lot because it's been a long 6 months. And the last 2 or 3 of them, I haven't spoken to my family. Well, last 6, I haven't talked to my dad. Last 2 or 3, I haven't talked to my mom. And I've lived with them for the entire 38 years of my life. What happened to me didn't just happen to me, it happened to us. But my parents were never to blame. And I couldn't see that because of, lack of communication, being a 38-year-old and immature in some ports. But I'm glad to be before you today. And I when I say that the last 6 months have been the best 6 months of my life, I don't intend or want to be back in jail. But it was time that I needed to listen to myself. It was time I needed to listen to God. It was time I needed to really reflect, not just on, the time in here, but the last 38 years of my life. And I'm happy standing before you and my parents today, knowing that God gave me a reason for existing. And it's to bring happiness to myself, my family, and anyone else that I encounter. And no matter what I'm going through in life, no matter how hard it is, I don't have to not be happy. And I surely don't have to take my unhappiness in a moment out on someone, especially not my dad.
Any questions? Anything
For the
else?
bench, Your Honor.
So here's my question. One, it appears that you're not going to be allowed to live with your parents. So why were you, as a 38-year-old, living with them in the first place?
Well, over a decade ago, I'll admit that I was a drug addict, and my parents were enablers. They loved me as much as a parent could love their child, and then some. And so they didn't want to kick me out on the street. They didn't want to, despite me stealing, thieving, and whatnot. That was not the case over the last 2 years. Over the last 2 years, I have done anything and everything I could to get a job. Actually, let me take that back. At the beginning of those 2 years, I was completely sober. In a 2-week span, I had gotten off of all pharmaceutical medications. I decided I no longer wanted to smoke cigarettes, which I had been doing since I was legally allowed to smoke cigarettes, and I no longer wanted to use drugs. And I kept that promise to myself for nearly a year. I was racially profiled and wrongly terminated from my job, fell off that horse, but I remained sober. I didn't smoke cigarettes, and I just decided to get back on that horse. Only I didn't get back on it. After a month of not having any work, I was fine. After 3 months of not having any work, not so much. After 6 months of not having any work, of having my parents' Wi-Fi hacked, my cell phone hacked, of having people whose identities I still don't know listen on my phone calls, things were getting testy.
So let me ask you this.
Yes, ma'am.
Your prescribed medications, what were they for?
When I was 21, I was a full-blown heroin addict, and I was depressed because I was a full-blown heroin addict. I'd swallowed 1,300 milligram trazodones because I was tired of my life. I was hospitalized off of Floyd Curl for 7 days, and part of my discharge paperwork was to go see
Okay,
a
here's the thing.
Uh-huh.
I need you to slow down because the court reporter has to take down
I
everything.
apologize. I was hospitalized up to the hospital of Floyd Curl, because method is part of my discharge paperwork was to see this man, his name is Dr. Moody, not making that up. He talked to me for 35 minutes and said that I had bipolar 2 disorder, prescribed me lithium and clonazepam, and I was 21, max 22. At the time, because I was raised to respect my elders and because I was in the hands of a doctor, I just kind of said, okay. I was never bipolar. I never had bipolar 1, never had bipolar 2, but for over a decade, I kept taking clonazepam. Lithium I got off within about 2 years. But I never needed that medication. I never needed lithium. And it took my ex, who I was then with, to wake me up to the fact that I didn't need to be on that benzo.
And do you have any children?
No, ma'am, I wish I did.
Okay. All right, any other questions?
No other questions?
All right. So, is his father here?
Oh, I think you
All right, if we can have his father come up, please.
gonna step aside.
Yes. Both parties have agreed for your son to have probation.
Yes, ma'am.
And part of my job is to put in place conditions that will help him be rehabilitated and help him with whatever issues he may have.
Yes, ma'am.
I don't do cookie cutter probations. Everybody doesn't receive the same conditions. So what is it you think he needs? Is there some mental health issues going on here?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
When he's talking about being diagnosed with bipolar, he was diagnosed, that's true. And when he says his ex convinced him that he wasn't bipolar and he quit taking the medications, mom goes through mood swings.
Mhm.
And like I said, I'm not a physician, but the physician said he was bipolar.
Okay.
But a friend or his ex said he wasn't. So he decided to go with what the friend of the ex said.
Mhm.
And when I said mood swings, it's 1 minute he's happy and up and everything's great. The next minute, the world is crumbling. And then there's an anger part of that. Okay. And my wife and I have been dealing with that most of his adult life. He has a pleasant personality, but like I said, for me, on the 26th of August, Jamal beat me with a metal cane, like I was a piece of meat.
Mhm.
Okay. And broke into the house, did a whole bunch of negative stuff that you all have records for. I never understood why. Today, I don't understand why.
Mhm.
Okay. But some of the same things that he's saying to you as far as the ex convinces him not to take the medication and him not being on medication. And I'm not a doctor, but like when he was on the medication, it seemed like it was happening. Okay. He has had an issue with maintaining jobs. He told me and my wife that we had aliens in my backyard. The Masons was after him. My Wi-Fi had been hacked and all this other stuff. Now, I don't know if the Wi-Fi was hacked or not. It could be because it happens all the time. But as far as some of this other stuff, but there's a Masonic lodge down from my house.
Mhm.
He talked about going down there blowing up the lodge. And I'm like, Jamal, those folks aren't messing with you. Okay. But he had a couple of pictures on his phone where he felt that people were following him and this type of stuff. And to me, that was all the mental part. Like I said, I'm not a doctor. I'm not saying I'm correct, but he just made me feel that way.
So let me ask you, do you think it would help him? Because they do have placement in a mental facility
Mhm.
to make sure that he is on his medications, to make sure he has a case manager.
Mhm.
Do you think that's what he needs and that's what would help him?
Yes, ma'am. I mean, when I talked to the DA's Mrs. Jones this morning, and she was talking about what could happen like, as far as 2 to 10 years of type of stuff. And I told her that if Jamal went to jail for 10 years, that's still not going to help him because he has mental issues, in my opinion. So my focus is, even though he assaulted me, is he's my son. I love him. I love him until I leave this earth. But he actually needs some help. Okay. And he doesn't understand that or doesn't see that. You can ask my wife. She's here. And we've been dealing with him for 30 years. And
So I will tell you what my plan is with
Yes, ma'am.
conditions
Mhm.
is to get him help for mental health issues. the question is whether or not you want to have phone contact, but because before he has in-person contact with you outside of court settings,
Mhm.
I like to start people off slow.
Right.
So are you okay with him speaking to you just by phone or speaking to your wife by phone?
He
Because-
talks to her now.
Okay,
Okay, so he hasn't talked to me since the 26th of August. And I don't have an issue with that, okay?
all right. So what I can tell you is I'll start off with the contact will only be by phone or either if you all want to do it by Zoom, but there'll be no in-person contact.
Mhm.
And once a doctor or therapist or probation says to me that it would be safe for him to have contact, in-person contact with his parents, and you all are okay with that, then I'll strongly consider his having in-person contact.
Okay,
All right.
that's fine.
All right. Is there anything else I need to know about your son?
Other than that, like I said, I don't know what made him do what he did. His whole adult life or his whole life, we've been trying to just be decent parents. And I got 4 kids.
Mhm.
And the only time I've been in a courtroom like this was with Jamal. Okay, several years ago, same thing. Okay, so and that's what I was telling the attorney. I don't know what will help him. I hope this did. I hope this is the last time that I have to come into a courtroom.
Well,
on
I
a
would
negative
tell you,
situation with
in
him.
my experience, a lot of mental health issues for males happen around the 18-year mark. For females, sometimes it's a little bit later. Sometimes it's mid-20s for females, but usually for males, the mental health issues, if they happen, usually around the 18-year mark.
That's right.
And when I say mental health issues, I don't mean mental health based upon traumatic things that happen. I mean the schizophrenia, the bipolar, that type of thing.
Mhm.
All right, thank you so much.
So, thank you.
All right, this is what the court is going to do. There's a $1,500 fine that will be probated. The court will sentence you to 4 years deferred adjudication. If you complete everything early, the court will consider early termination. Is there anything else you need from the court to be, anything else you need from the court to be successful?
No, ma'am.
All right, we can go off the record. You have victim impact? Yes. All right, you may proceed.
Just Judge, sorry, one other thing. There is a protective order that was ordered. It's in place for 2 years. So I know the whole contact thing. I just wanted to make sure the
All right,
court's aware.
so the court was unaware of that. Since there's a protective order in place, you need to follow that protective order.
Yes, ma'am.
So if your mother is included in that protective order, you cannot have contact with her at all. If that's what it says.
She's the go-between between me and my dad. But not that I need to talk to my dad, but it was, as far as I know, it was established that I could call and talk to her.
All right, you all need to make sure that that's the case because I don't want any violation.
Yes, ma'am.
So probation, with regards to his condition, I'm sorry, with regards to his conditions, there's to be no contact with the complainant. Are 011671 State versus Jamal Ricardo Fisher. Can I have parties announced?
Ashley Jones for the state.
Megan Enriquez for Jamal Fisher.
And are you Mr. Fisher? To review the document entitled Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision with your attorney, did you understand it? Are you the same Jamal Ricardo Fisher who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2024 CR 011671 for the offense of injury to a child, elderly, or disabled person with intentional bodily injury on January 27, 2025 for a period of 4 years? Is that you?
Yeah.
All right, state.
Yes, Your Honor, the state is going to proceed on violation of condition number 4. On or about the 28th day of February 2025 in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant, Jamal Ricardo Fisher, did then and there fail to conduct himself in a proper and orderly manner during an inmate video conference meeting with the Bexar County Community Supervision and Corrections Department Supervision Officer in violation of condition number 4.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
And the state will waive the remaining violation.
Any objections?
No, Your Honor.
Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 4, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, and sentence you up to 10 years in the prison and up to a $10,000 fine? Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 4? Court will find violation of condition number 4 true. Is there proposed agreement?
There is not, Your Honor.
All right, state, what are you requesting?
Your Honor, at this time, the recommendation from probation is amend for DDRF. I do believe that the defendant has undergone a mental health and a TAP, substance abuse evaluation, both recommended DDRF, and at that time, that is the state's recommendation as well.
Thanks.
Yes, Your Honor, and that was the basis for his outburst with the probation officer. He does deny some of the things that he's alleged to have said, but he does ultimately agree that he did use profanity that was inappropriate. That's why he did decide to plead true. I believe what happened is that at the very beginning, when he pled for deferred, he was misinformed. He believed that he would be getting out. He says he signed for probation because he thought he would get out that day or the next day. But instead he was held in custody, explained that that's routine and normal and that that happens all the time. And so he waited in custody for 3 different evaluations. I believe the TAP, the mental health evaluation, and what was the other evaluation? Oh, okay. Oh, a drug court evaluation. And so he waited in custody for those, and ultimately the mental health evaluation recommended DDRF. So when the probation officer came to meet with him, he says that the video wasn't on, he could hear him, and he was explaining to him that there were going to be new conditions, but he didn't have new conditions in front of him. He, in his mind, didn't feel that DDRF was appropriate for him. He says he doesn't have a drug problem, and since it's dual diagnosis, he doesn't believe his issue is drugs and that he's not a drug user, and that he was just trying to explain that to his probation officer, albeit with profanities, because he was upset that the probation officer explained to him that there was a long wait, and that upset him. And so that was what got us here today, was that interaction with the probation officer. But leading up to that, he was further upset, and he wants to explain it to you in his words as well, but this is kind of a synopsis of what he's told me.
Well, let me explain something,
Sure.
sir. I go over conditions with people in great detail. I go over conditions of probation with people in great detail. And I always ask people if they understand what they're being ordered to do. And if they don't understand, I explain it to them. So what I can tell you, when I place you on probation, what I said was a $1,500 fine probated, 4 years deferred adjudication, regular reporting by Zoom or in person, regular random UAs, 100 hours of community service restitution. That was to be waived once he completed anger management, affirmative finding of family violence, no contact with the complainant, and Madam Circle, which was an address, referral to felony drug court for their dual diagnosis program, a MIC evaluation, and DDRF. That's what I ordered. And so what I said was, we're going to try felony drug court with their dual diagnosis because it doesn't take them as long as DDRF. But the court did order you to go to DDRF, or at least be evaluated for DDRF if felony drug court doesn't accept you. And the reason why I ordered that was based upon the evidence that was presented to the court on the day of sentencing, that there are some mental health issues. Now, if I send you out into the world and I do not give you help from your mental health issues, you know what's going to end up happening? You're going to end up back here and you're going to say, well, judge, your attorney will say, judge, he needed mental health treatment and you didn't even try to give it to them. That would be my fault. That's on me, right? But when I give you things that you need to be successful on probation, you have to sign for those. And let me explain to you. Everybody has a right to their feelings, to be angry, to be upset. But at the end of the day, guess what? Everybody's just trying to do their job and they're hoping that they will have a nice day at work. Some people, it's like, gosh, I was supposed to be retired, or I really didn't want to do this as my career. Now I got to suck it up and just continue to do it. And I really don't like it. It's not my passion. Some people, I was only supposed to be here for 1 year, then I was going to trade school or going to college and do something else with my life. So everybody is just trying to have a pleasant day. And if everyone would treat everybody with kindness, it would really go a long way, because everybody's just trying to do their job. So what I'm telling you is, I have ordered DDRF. You're going to have to sign for DDRF. If you don't want to sign for DDRF, then what I will do, I will revoke you and I will sentence you to 3 years in the prison. So you have 2 choices. And these are the only choices you have. Don't come to me with a third choice. Two choices, sign for DDRF or 3 years.
Can I just share? Ma'am, I never once had an issue with DDRF, and I know what she recommended. I never saw DDRF, as I was explaining to my lawyer, when my probation officer met with me on that Zoom call on the 28th. That was the first time I'd ever got actually a chance to meet him. I tried calling him, my mom and dad had tried calling him, my previous attorney tried calling him, just to say hi. I'd never even heard of it.
But you know what the appropriate response is?
Name.
If somebody wants you to sign a contract, at least in this realm, in the 187th,
Yes.
you need to say, well, I'm confused, sir, because I don't believe the judge ordered DDRF for me. I would like to go back to court. And then that would have been the end of it. Everybody would have been like, okay, and you would have came to court and you know what I would have done? I would have said, Mr. Fisher, I ordered first felony drug court because it's a short wait time. And then if not accepted by felony drug court, DDRF. And then that would have been done. I always tell people, don't get upset because things are not going your way. If you are confused about something in this court, you can always come back to the court and say, Judge, they want me to sign up for DDRF. It's my understanding I'm not supposed to sign up for DDRF.
I didn't mean that my problem wasn't with the recommendation, and if he had said that, I would have been like, okay, well, this is my thing. You gave me, I thought it was a blessing, still think it's a blessing to be on probation.
Mhm.
I don't care, DDRF, whatever it is, if you're asking me that, you're the judge, so I'm not gonna say no. When the probation officer, all he said, his exact words, I was like, she wants to go to DDRF, and I didn't know if he meant, said she was talking you or someone from the evaluations. All I asked was, what's DDRF? And his exact words were, you're going to have to wait a minimum 6 to 8 months to get a bed, and then it's a form report. That's when I lost my cool. Then even after that, he didn't say these are conditions of your probation or explain what DDRF was. I was never upset about the recommendation. I didn't even know DDRF was a thing. The only reason I reacted the way I did was he said, you're gonna have to wait 6 to 8 months for bed. And I didn't know what that was for. I'm not
All
gonna
right,
say no.
so here's the thing. So if you want DDRF as opposed to the prison term, all right. So I'm going to deny the motion, alternate amend conditions for DDRF. Council, what I'll do is, Ms. Ferguson, I need a phantom date for a setting of 60 days. We'll come back in 60 days to see where he is in the process. Okay. All right, Ms. Ferguson, 60 days, phantom date. All right, so we'll be back in July 10th. July 10th, it's not going to appear in the system because if we have it in the system and they're ready to transfer to DDRF, they won't, and you'll lose your place.
Okay.
So it's just a phantom date, but everybody here knows July 10th. Okay. All right, probation, is there anything else he needs? All right,
Just to
thank
be
you.
clear, Judge, so that he's admonished here on the record. So today he will have to sign his new conditions agreeing to go to DDRF and he'll be placed on the wait list as of today.
Yes.
No,
No?
The wait list doesn't start today, Judge. You still have to go through an evaluation.
All right, so you still have to do a medical evaluation and everything of that nature, okay? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Stephen Carmona, who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2023 CR 8639W for the offense of repeated violation court order bond condition on October 3rd, 2023 for a period of 6 years. Is that you?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, state.
Yes, Your Honor. Violated condition of 2 on or about the 5th day of October 2023. Bear County, Texas. Defendant Stephen Carmona, resident there, should not hold federal accused violation condition number 2.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True, Your Honor.
All right. Excuse me, can I have a? Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 2, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, and sentence you up to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine?
I do, Your Honor.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 2?
True, Your Honor.
Court will find violation of condition number 2 true. Is there a proposed agreement?
No, there's not, Your Honor.
All right, state, what are you recommending? And defense?
Judge, I'm recommending that you continue him on probation. He's been doing good. He's been on the GPS for 11 months approximately. And he hasn't had any violations. It's in the actual report that there's no violations. There haven't been any violations. And other than drinking alcohol that day, he's been doing wonderful. He's doing good. He's been following my advice. He's been following the court's advice or orders. And he's doing great, except for that one mistake, bad decision, not a mistake, bad decision. And I'd like for him to just continue him on probation and let's keep seeing how he continues, and if he continues to do well, then he'll be successful.
All right, so last time we were here in July, the warrant was recalled. And I asked that he complete daily sober meetings. Has that been done?
No, Your Honor. I recently have,
Let me have you raise your right hand for me.
Oh.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
yes, ma'am,
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Stephen Carmona.
All right, so I ordered daily sober meetings. Why hasn't that been done?
I recently got an employment as a director of operations in a call center. Gives me 7 to 7 hours, Monday to Friday. I also have a 5-year-old that I share like joint custody with. So I have him anytime his mom is at work. She works in the evenings. So she goes in anytime between 7 p.m. and 9 p.m. So because of that, I couldn't find any virtual AA meeting. And the only ones that I could attend would start at 10 o'clock.
All right, so did you come into the court and tell me or tell your probation officer, hey, I know the judge ordered daily sober support meetings, but here's the issue I'm having.
I did tell my probation officer this past time that I saw Ms. Guerra, and she did tell me that I could go online for resources, and she provided me a link and information so I could go and start attending that. This was this past week.
All right, so I had ordered that since July 11th. Why are you only doing it this past week?
So initially, when I did talk to my probation officer, Ms. Guerra, she had told me not to report because of the fact that the systems were still showing an active warrant. So the last time I was in here, I was detained. I thought it was for failure to appear here, but it was, she told me that it was failure to report, which I wasn't aware of. And when she did call me and tell me, that's when I went and reported, and that's when I gave her all the information.
All right, any other questions?
Other question.
Ms. Abrams?
Yes, Judge.
So has he spoken to his probation officer about the sober support meetings?
Judge, I was just reviewing, the notes on the case.
Your Honor, if I may,
Yes.
I would like for you to continue him. And I will promise you, I will have a very stern conversation with him about following the court's orders. I know it's July and then August, so we're missing a few days here that he didn't do what he was ordered to do. But I will have a very stern conversation with him. I will tell him, as he already knows, the possible results of what can happen if he doesn't follow the court's orders. But I've gotten to know Mr. Carmona since he retained me. He is a fine young man. He has been doing well with the orders other than the alcohol consumption and this. So if I may get in a little bit of an extension for him so he can start doing what he needs to do. And then we're due back in January. So on the other case, and we can come on that day or we can come anytime in between there, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Abrams?
Yes, Judge, I did review the notes that were in the system and no notes indicate that conversation was had in regards to sober support.
All right. So let me ask you this. Is it possible to have his probation officer zoom in?
Judge, the probation officer listed is on modified duty. I can make sure, due to health reasons, I can
Okay.
make sure she's in the office and see if she can.
All right, then if she can't zoom in today, I can recall this. I've accepted his plea of true. And we can recall it for a date where she's able to zoom in.
See, like 5 minutes, but
Sure. All right, if you all will step back.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Mr. Carmona?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so we have Officer Norma Guerra here. Any objection to the officer appearing by Zoom, state?
No.
Defense?
No, ma'am.
Do you have any objections to her appearing by Zoom?
No, ma'am.
All right. Ms. Guerra, can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Officer Norma Maya Guerra.
All right, any objections to the court just getting to the crux of the issue?
No, ma'am.
All right, so officer, the court ordered Mr. Carmona to do sober support meetings daily until, beginning July 11th until today. Mr. Carmona has testified that he spoke to you about his inability to do the meetings. Is that correct?
Sober meetings were never discussed with him.
We discussed it on the exit when I was leaving.
On the exit when you were leaving, I
Yes,
don't
ma'am.
recall talking about sober meetings, sir.
All right, so Officer Guerra, did you ever speak to him about sober support meetings?
No, ma'am.
Did he ever speak to you stating that he was unable to do his sober support meetings?
Not that I can recall, Your Honor, no.
All right, any questions?
Nothing from the state.
Any questions?
No questions, Your Honor, just re-urge my argument.
All right, thank you so much, Officer Guerra.
You're welcome. Is that it, Your Honor?
Yes,
Okay.
thank you.
Mhm.
All right. All right, so the officer has testified that no one spoke to her about sober support meetings and the inability to do those.
We spoke, Your Honor. It was on the exit because I had told her that I was ordered to do 7 days daily, and she was surprised because I felt like it was a lot for me to do, given my situation, my income, everything that I have to pay for. She's the one that told me. I told her that I've researched 12, and 12 I need to be a member to do the virtual meeting at 7 o'clock in the morning. She also was the one that said, well, I've had another person that I've been working with, and I advised him to Google virtual alcohol meetings. It was on the exit as I was leaving probation. I wouldn't come up here and put myself at the mercy of the court trying to claim some ownership for what I've done. I understand that it's wrong, right? I do. I fully take responsibility for that. My thing is that, you know, like I was telling Mr. Cisneros, is on paper, it might look like I make money, but I got a mortgage, I got child support, I got utilities, I got other fees like GPS and probation and bondsmen. And so when it's all said and done with, I'm limited. You know, I got my 5-year-old that I take care of half the time, so his mom can go to work in the evenings. I mean, there's a lot of things that I'm doing, you know, and that's where I ask for you, please, to reinstate my probation. And, you know, it's one of those things where I've gone through a whole bunch of stuff. My divorce after 18 months was finalized in July. It's just a whole bunch of stuff that's been going on. And
All right, any questions, State? All right, so Ms. Abrams, in state, in the defense. So in this case, the person I have before me, this is his first motion to revoke, and it's for drinking alcohol, which he's not allowed to drink alcohol. I know I ordered sober support meetings, and that wasn't done. And I do know that I tell everybody, if there's an issue, you can come back to court and address it with me. And I guess when I order people to do things, they're like, you know what? Let me just come before the judge and say, I wasn't able to do it. Instead of coming in, nope, don't give me attitude. All right. Instead of coming in and saying, I have an issue with sober support meetings. This is what's going on in my life. Then that could have been something that perhaps we could have figured out. But when people are doing their own things and then come to me at the end of the day trying to figure something out, something should have been figured out in July.
I agree.
Your Honor,
I don't mean no disrespect at all, you know, and it was maybe something that I just didn't know. I mean, I have called up here to the courts and I talked to, you know.
No, I tell people to come in.
Yeah.
Do I not tell people that they can come into court?
I
Just one
understand.
second, Ms. Abrams, there's something you wanted to say?
Oh, no, Judge.
Okay. All right, so
Judge,
then,
if I may say one more thing,
yes,
and excuse me for interrupting. The probation officer opened the door about there being a possibility that he did talk to her about it, because she said, not that I can recall. So I'm believing my client that he did talk to her about it. And of course, there's still the he said, she said situation, but she herself, and I'm gonna repeat myself, but she said that not that I can recall. So I think, again, if I may re-urge my request of the court to just give him another chance, I'll have a very strong and stern meeting with him and conversation and tell him that it's, while we understand it's a zero tolerance policy now, I will make sure and reassure that he knows what zero policy means and we can put him on or zero tolerance. So I'm asking for one more chance for him. I've gotten to know him, like I mentioned. He's a wonderful young man, just didn't follow the court's orders, and I don't think he understood the gravity of the situation. And we're just asking for a continuance, Your Honor.
Anything else from the state?
No,
All right. So what he has done as a violation of his probation, he was placed on probation October 3rd, 2023. And this is his first violation, and it's drinking alcohol.
that's correct.
All right. You are not allowed to drink alcohol while you're on probation, period. Doesn't matter if you're in your house, doesn't matter that alcohol is legal. Those are the rules that the legislature set up. It is not my rule per se. It's the legislature's rule. You're not allowed to drink alcohol. Do you understand? All right. I'm going to continue him because this is his first motion to revoke and it's for drinking alcohol. I'm not removing GPS. That's going to be a punishment.
Yeah, understood.
So he's going to have GPS for 60 more days. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Is there anything you do not understand?
No, ma'am.
And I want those sober support meetings, and you're going to do sober support meetings 60 in 60 days. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Is there anything you do not understand?
No, ma'am.
And for the last time, this is what I'm going to say. If there's an issue, let your probation officer know. If you feel as though they're not addressing it, you can walk into this courtroom. Do you understand?
I do. Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
I brought my water. Is that okay?
Oh, that's fine.
All right. Judge, I've just received the affidavit of surety's surrender on this case.
Mhm.
It's false. The reason,
I will tell you, I issued a judge's warrant and remanded him without bond
okay,
because he wasn't here on time. Court
I-
starts at 9.
Judge, I'm sorry. I was in county court number 4. As I told Norma, I told him I was going to be there first. We were going to meet. When I went to county court 4, we just missed each other. I came up here. He's like, "Where are you?" I was like, "I'm in court." He ran up. I was in the bathroom. We came in together.
No, he's supposed to be here at 9. Why wasn't he here? That's the question.
Because I told him to meet me in CC4.
All right, well, that shouldn't have been done
Well,
because,
then, Judge, if you don't take him into custody, take me. I'm the one that told him.
oh no, he knows he's supposed to be here at 9.
But don't talk.
This is not the first time he's been late to this court. It's chronic where
Okay.
he's late.
Okay, Judge, we're set for trial.
Yes,
Defense is ready.
all right. Jury will be brought up.
Okay,
All right, thank you.
have a seat.